Hello and welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. First, the headlines. Nigeria's oil production to peak in 2023. Fuel scarcity. Aregbesola restates federal government's auto gas option. Dwindling gas supply. Orders responsible for power outage. TCN. And now, the news in detail. Nigeria will retain its number one position as Africa's biggest oil producer, as well as maintain the top three gas suppliers in the continent between 2022 and 2025, the African Energy Chamber (EAC) has revealed in its Q1 2022 outlook tagged the State of African Energy. The EAC contended that Nigeria will produce 1.46 million barrels per day of crude oil out of the 6.35 million barrels per day that Africa as a whole will produce during the year. It noted that this will reaffirm the country's position as a continental energy hub as production in the West Africa states peaks in 2023. The outlook stated that production declines in mature oil fields coupled with the country's reliance on offshore basins has highlighted the need for Nigeria to increase oil exploration and production. Approximately 65% of the crude oil Nigeria currently produces is sourced from offshore projects. Nigeria's Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola on Monday advised Nigerians to embrace the federal government's auto gas recommendation for vehicle use instead of petrol. Aregbesola, a former governor of Osun State, said doing so will help to survive not just the scarcity identified with the use of petrol, but also the accompanying hazards to the environment. The minister gave the advice in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, on Monday at a book launch by an energy expert and former commissioner for works and transports in the state, Yunus Akintunde. His position reinforces the campaign by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari for the adoption of auto gas towards reducing the nation's huge expenditure on fuel subsidy. The Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) has disclosed that the abysmal power supply being experienced nationwide is due to low power generation by the generation companies (GenCos). Ndidi Mba, General Manager Public Affairs (TCN), said this in a statement on Tuesday. Mba said all generating companies are performing below capacity and TCN can only transmit the quantum of power generated. The Transmission Company of Nigeria wishes to notify consumers of electricity that the current load shedding being experienced nationwide is a result of very low power generation by the generation companies GenCos for TCN to wheel through the transmission grid to distribution companies nationwide. Presently, the cumulative generation nationwide is low, and generation companies have attributed this to several factors including poor gas supply, faults in generating units of generating companies, scheduled and unscheduled maintenance, all of which have caused most power generating companies to limit their generation and sometimes not generate at all, he revealed. South Africa's Energy Minister Gwede Mantashe is backing the nation's quest for offshore oil and gas exploration despite recent legal setbacks to the development. Environmental and community organizations have sued companies including Shell plc over recent months, winning temporary interdicts that caused the searches to be called off. They've argued that seismic surveys are harmful to marine life and criticized the process used to consult those who potentially could be affected by the work. The minister, who accused the groups of deterring investment, said he has been meeting with traditional leaders and residents of the Eastern Cape province to discuss the hunt for the oil and gas. Exploration and development cannot be the end, he said in a video released by the ministry on Monday, adding, "We must pursue it until it happens." OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Barkindo says there is no physical shortage of oil, even as Moscow's war on Ukraine fuels surging prices. Speaking on the sideline of Cambridge Energy Research Associates Week by S&P Global in Houston, Barkindo told Bloomberg News that OPEC will continue to guarantee supplies. He spoke after the US and UK announced their bans on Russian oil imports. Barkindo said that while oil prices in future markets have risen more than 30% since Russia invaded Ukraine, there is no physical shortage of oil as of this morning. The future markets are paper barrels, but the physical market supplies are guaranteed. This is coming as anxiety continues to rise on the future of oil in Europe and the world at large, as Russia is the second largest exporter of hydrocarbon in the world, second only to the United Arab Emirates. The Cambridge Energy Research Associates Week is a yearly meeting point for energy leaders, experts, ministers, exhibitors, among others, to discuss energy and related issues. This year's edition, themed Pace of Change, Energy, Climate and Innovation, addresses the challenges and opportunities of reducing emissions while supplying the needs of a growing economy. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has increased the currency in circulation from 2.91 trillion naira in December 2020 to 3.33 trillion naira in December 2021. The data released by the Apex Bank revealed that the currency in circulation had increased by 19.6% from 2.44 trillion naira recorded as of December 2019. CBN, in its report on currency operation, disclosed that the growth in CIC reflected the continued dominance of cash in the economy. CBN further stated that electronic payment options were introduced with a major aim of reducing the number of naira notes used for transactions, but not to eliminate cash usage. According to CBN, cashless transactions using the e-payments would help increase convenience, provide more service options, reduce the risks of cash-related crimes, and provide cheaper access to banking services and access to credit. Before we end the news, here's a recap of our headlines. Nigeria's oil production to peak in 2023. Fuel scarcity, Aregbesola restates federal government's auto gas option. Dwindling gas supply, orders responsible for power outage, TCN. And that's the news. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.